Amazing. Rizgod, hello.
Ryan, it's a pleasure, man. How are you?
No, I'm talking to the Rizgod. I bow down to you. This is a huge privilege and honor to chat to you. So
Yes,
thank you so much for coming on.
of course. I'm honored.
Uh, Firstly, can I just say, just as a fan of Survivor, taking off the journalist hat, thank you so much for playing Survivor. It has been a privilege and an honor to watch you play. You have been one of the, I know this is a quotation mark thing, but one of the standout characters we've had on Survivor in maybe the 25 years, Rizzo. It's been such an honor to watch you play and to hear your story. So thanks for just having such a fun time and pumped for next season. We'll talk about that later, but thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for the kind words. That means a lot to me. I mean, just like you, I was a fan, or I am a fan still of the show. It's the best show on earth. And the fact that I got to live out my dream and represent not only my family, but a country of Albania that's never been represented in CBS reality TV, period. And to have left my mark enough to come back on season 50 with all the greats, it's been a crazy year for me.
Yeah, no, it's huge. I do want to take you back. I guess like just more broadly, having the
Yeah.
idol, not being able to, using it as a tool that was effective and it was offensive and it was used in a way to keep you through. Can you talk a little bit about the strategy around that? I know it was touched on a little bit about 46 and how it was used so defensively, but can you talk about how you viewed the idol and I guess like just wow, like how you use that so effectively through the game?
For sure. So I'm going to start off way back when I first started watching Survivor. My first season was Survivor Token Chains with JT and everything. My next season after that was Russell Hantz. So I grew up in an era of Survivor where the idol was pivotal. It was game breaking. It allowed minorities or whoever to go all the way to the end. Wentworth does not count. Like all of these seasons that I grew up watching, the idol was so important. And I idled my game after Tony Vlachos from Cagayan and an Australian native, Ferris from Australian Survivor.
Love that.
Those two players literally changed the way that the idol was used. I essentially was able to use my idol as a god idol that Yule did back in Survivor Cook Islands without the luxury of playing it after the vote. I knew that people in this game, and especially in the new era, play with their hands, like sitting on their hands. They played fearful, where I play fearless. To me, I was aware as being a big fan that there's only one winner in this game. So am I going to just skate by and go to the end and have the jury destroy me because I didn't play a game? Or am I going to dictate my own destiny? And I had this tool with the idol. Did I want everyone to know about it? Obviously not, but that played into the fear of everybody because countless times, not only did I protect myself, I protected my alliance in Savannah and Soph because people were so afraid to put votes on me. I was playing with a lot of risk adverse people. So like the MC vote, for instance, I should have went home, but because I go to Juwan and Sage and I say, you can vote for me, but I play this idol, you're going home. Do you want that? No. Let's work together and rebuild this bond. And then I send out MC Packing, who was the nucleus of Hina. So, and then it just continues and continues and continues all the way to the final five. I was innovative with a fake idol to kind of get people to know that I had agency in the game. Then I had a final six lie where my idol expires at final six. And I literally was so creative, innovative with this idol. And, some people want to say like, oh, nobody respects him as a threat. That wasn't the case. People were just scared to take the shot. And clearly it got me all the way to the end. And had I won fire against my close ally, Savannah, I think it would have crowned me the winner of Survivor 49.
Yeah, it's one of those sliding door moments. I think I agree as well in that aspect as well. I think had you made it through that point, you probably do win the game based on the resume that you had, which is huge in itself. I want to touch back on a couple of things. One, clearly, I love the survivor knowledge, dropping that token chains through Samoa into Heroes vs Villains. What an era to start your survivor journey. Continuing
Yeah,
on, you obviously have watched Australian Survivor then as well. If you're quoting Ferris,
I
how
do.
much have you taken from like I guess international versions as well of Survivor into the game that you've played in this last season?
Absolutely. I think it's like when you're studying for a big test, you need to know everything, right? And you want to get sources from every wealth of knowledge. And I'm not going to say I've watched Survivor New Zealand or Survivor South Africa. I've just been US and Australian.
Yeah.
And I think what Australian Survivor does so well is they have a lot of players that are bold. Like you see King George, you see Ferris, you see Kirby, you see all these greats, right? And what Ferris did and what I try to do, some people wanted to clown my theatrics at Tribal. But there was strategy, there was method to the madness because what makes Ferris so good in Australian Survivor is all of his magic was behind the scenes. But when you go to Tribal, you showcase your agency and your dominance through the idol, like him taking off the shirt and showing, like, you guys think you can get me? Like, he showed people he had agency. So when my number one ally, Savannah, has immunity after immunity after immunity, I can't showboat anything. I can't just say, Jeff, the reason why Sophie and, MC and Alex went home is because it was because of me. Because that means everyone's going to want me out. So what way to do it? By showing a dominant or asserting my dominance with the idol. I play the fake idol on Savannah originally to lure Christina in. A lot of people's perception of me was I was this cocky and arrogant guy. So I knew Christina had the idol because Soph and Sophie went through her bag. So I wanted to be like, guys, you think you had us in the bag. Well, I'm playing my idol on Savannah, and Steven, you're going home, in hopes that they were like, this idiot thinks he got us. And then Christina played her idol when it was a fake. When Christina played her idol, I was like, you know what? This is where I show people I'm running the game. So I play the idol on Savannah. Obviously, it's a fake to show I know where their votes are going and to show the jury that I have agency in this game. Because not only am I taking Jawan out, I'm pocketing my idol and showing the other side that they can't mess with us. So there's a lot of method to my madness.
Yeah. No, I love that. Look, I know you will have answered heaps of game specific questions in a bunch of these chats you've done. I do want to talk a little bit about the lessons you've learned. You talked about then, Samoa into Heroes vs. Villains, your start of your Survivor journey. We saw Russell do that as well. Ultimately wasn't a winner coming into his second season back to back. What lessons have you taken from this experience into the next game for you?
Yeah, I think so. In terms of strategy and game plan, I think we saw it. I was a very confident personality and just a very confident person because there shouldn't be a bigger believer in yourself than yourself, right? So I felt very confident and honestly, not like I needed the ego boost, but the fact that I am part of a small group of people that have come back to back. Less than 10 people have ever done what I've done. Not only that, I'm not coming back for fans versus favorites. I'm coming back for a monumental season like Russell did for Heroes Villains. I'm coming back for season 50, the biggest season of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I don't really need to fix my gameplay. The only thing that I really took into account, aside from knowing how to do puzzles, but the reality is if I didn't know how to do puzzles for 25 years of my life, I'm not going to learn in the 9 days between 49 and 50.
No.
But the one thing that really resonated with me is understand that not everybody views the game of Survivor like me. People are both, I don't want to say emotionally, but they're most of the time driven by their heart. And I can separate that. And I feel like with people like a Christina or a Sage or a few others, they were played the game with their heart, and that's totally fine. But I got to realize that going into 50, while I'm playing with a lot of people, if I want the respect of certain players, I need to realize that we got to differentiate the two a little bit.
So one of the things I find really fascinating about your game is that at its core is the relationships. Like they were really
Right.
important for you as a player. You had two key relationships in the game in Savannah and Sophie. It's interesting because I felt like you even said this in the end, was that towards the end, Soph kind of became your best friend in the game. Ultimately, you do
Yeah.
vote for Savannah, which is completely understandable, and I respect why. Can you talk about those relationships and how they helped propel you further in this game?
Absolutely. I think, and I want to make a statement here. I know Survivor history across at least Australian Survivor and US Survivor. I think Soap Savan and I, Tres Leches, if not the best, one of the best trios of all time. The fact that we dominated a 7-3 minority to have the majority at the final four was no easy feat. And like, yes, Sophie had the knowledge is power, but you know what happened? Didn't work. I had the idol, never had to play it. Savannah had an extra vote. Technically, we didn't need to play it, right?
Yeah.
So we had all these advantages. We were all so loaded up. But you know what got us to the end? Individual immunity wins from Savannah and great social and strategic maneuvering by Soph and I. We all brought our own own facet to the game. Savannah was the muscle, Soph was the secret spy, and I was the strategic driving force of a lot of the votes. So all of us came together. And I think had we made the end together, we all would have had our own case to pitch and it would have been a slugfest. I do think Savannah and I had a lot of haters in the jury, so it's possible Soph probably might beat us due to bitterness. So I don't know, but my relationship with Savannah was so key, and honestly, I feel bad a little bit. I'm very happy with my edit, how I was portrayed, but that was the one thing where I was like, damn, why are they not showing us? Because Savannah and I had a big brother, big sister, little brother energy, and like since day one, we were so locked in. We had so many moments, so many countless nights where we're just talking personally, like all these things. There was a moment at the final seven, which I was really hoping made the show, where Jawan goes home and Soap, Savannah, and I are like, dude, we just gave Yellow Sophie all the power to play the middle. And Sav, I don't know if I can save you. This idol realistically is only going to be good for me. if you don't win immunity. And like we were just crying because it's like we did this game from day one to whatever it was, day 20 at that point. I thought we were cooked. And then lo and behold, I go on a reward and I throw Sophie under the bus. And Steven's like, sure, I'll do that. And then Sophie goes home and then we're still fighting. So my relationship with Savannah was, she was my number one ally. I think at that point at Final Four, when I said that about Sophie, me and Sophie realized after Savannah won her tying record for fourth individual immunity, being the first women ever to have a possibility of winning five. We were like, all right, like we got to take each other to the end because so we were saying we were each other's number ones up until that point, but up until day 24, me and Savannah were like this.
Yeah, and I think that shows like understanding, respect, honesty about you've used each other to the best of your capacities as you can. And you did an amazing job, honestly, Riz. I've got to let you go because I've got to do a
Okay.
thousand of these. But I'm so excited to watch you play again. As I said, probably my
Thank you.
favorite character that I've seen on Survivor in such a long time. So thank you for just being so fun. I love that. I'm even more impressed after this chat, knowing you know the history of Survivor so well. That's incredibly exciting. I love to end these chats always by talking about the concept of gratitude. You've got to play
Yeah.
Survivor. You got to have that experience. You talked about it, representing up Benya as well. Can you talk a little bit about what you are grateful for from your whole Survivor journey experience you've just been through?
Absolutely. I'm grateful for a lot of things. I want to be grateful for my family. I was able to showcase their story. I was able to show them and give their moment on TV. I was able to represent a country that's never been represented in US CBS reality TV. I was able to go out there and live my dream and not only just live my dream, because if I was first boot, I would have been happy. But here I am cementing myself as someone that hasn't been voted out of Survivor and now going to Survivor 50 with legends. I walk away with two great friendships in Savannah and Soap. They're like sisters I never had. I walk away with a great cast that's been very receptive and very much of a new extended family to me. And Survivor's the best game on earth. Jeff Probst is the best host on earth. Now being a part of the Survivor family, I know Survivor fans are so critical of the game and we just want it to be the best product on TV. But to you guys and to everybody, I truly mean the sentiment that they care. They want to be the best show on earth. They don't want negative feedback. They don't want to make the season suck or whatever. Like they try their best for the best product possible. And Survivor truly is not only the best show on TV, but the best social experiment known to mankind.
Yeah, it's funny because I am a journalist and I talk about Survivor. I've deliberately not read anything from people this season, and I until yesterday, I've been surprised people's perception of this season. I've loved your season. I thought it was the best new school era Survivor season we've seen. Strongest alliances, most interesting characters. It was amazing. So congrats on I think a really great season, and so keen to
Thank
see
you.
you in 50, man. So keen to see you in
Thank
50.
you. Thank you. I'm excited. It's going to be a good one. So
Amazing. Thanks, Rick.